Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead. Michael got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15, to the 20, breaks free of the 25 to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 in the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page, go to Shawn and Maya in the morning like that. Not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Come on, baby. What's wrong with you? You got to keep up with the Joneses and them. All right? Go to wherever you get your apps from. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you get your apps from. You go there. You type in Sports Zone Chicago. You download it. You take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are the archive there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles thanks to my man Clarence, Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles, Chicago sports related. Now, just on a Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to your television. Put us there next to the big boys, Netflix, Hulu, Apple, HBO Max, HBO Plus, what the hell? Paramount Plus, Stars. Oh, man, by the way, Paramount Plus has The Chi. Woo, Charlie. The Chi is back. It's a TV show for those of you who know what I'm talking about. I was fired up to see those episodes. But anyway, I digress. Put us there, watch it on the big screen. Hell, we're on the big screen, right, Mickey, Ficky, now. Now, you can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Chi. That's CHI at Sports Zone Chi. Now, if you want to just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I mean, it's easy for you folks. Nice and easy. You want to handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Man, I got a great show for you, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. And like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Woo-wee. I am fired up. Listen. I'm fired up, man. Let me just tell you why. Let me tell you something. We got a great show for you, man. At 10 o'clock, my man Evan Winter from A to Z Sports is going to join us. We're going to talk Bears football. The Bears are back at Hallis Hall, back at OTAs. And I don't think I've talked to him since the draft. So I'm going to have have a good conversation with him. A lot to talk about. Looking forward to our conversation with Evan Winter at 10 o'clock. But we also got baseball to talk. Cubs, Sox in action last night. All right, we have NBA playoffs to talk. The conference finals, Eastern and Western Conference finals. All right, the Chicago Sky played last night. Chicago Blackhawks were in the news yesterday. So we got a full day of sports. We only got 2 hours to get it in. Woo, Charlie. Well, let me check out the chat. Because the chat is jumping. Cornelius Squall is checking in. What up, sports zoners? Cornelius, don't blast him with that nonsense. He has Go Cubs Go. What the hell is that? Stop that nonsense, Cornelius. Oh, snap. Jay Grizz checking in. He's like, what up, SuperBack and sports zoners. That's what I'm talking about. Jay Grizz checking in from Philly, the city of brotherly love, or city of brotherly shove. That's for the... Never mind. I'm not even going to go there. My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. in the house, and Jay Grizz starting his nonsense. Fly the W and go Cubs. Stop, dude. Stop. Just stop. You don't need to go there. No. Start off, great to see you, and you start with that nonsense. But Sean Walls in the Mickey Picky house. But Sean, you're the man. Thought of you today. He says, what up on a hump day, Chi-Town? Man, let me tell you something. Burpees this morning, and I cursed you out. Damn you. And came in the mail, Michonne, baby. That's what I'm talking about. My jersey, the new White Sox jersey. I told you it's coming from China. You guys don't believe me? I told you it's coming from China. Tariffs and everything, baby. I'm not giving them any money. No more money to Reinsdorf. Except for the game that I'm going to next week and the one on my birthday. Except those two. But other than that, nothing. Oh, man, listen. Good to have you guys back. So now I just got to go down to grandstand, pick up the hat, and I'll be ready to roll. So the question is, which hat do I get? Pinstripe hat, but I like the black one with the red bill. That's the one I think I'm going to get. I think I'm going to, did I save that so I can? No, I think I deleted it already. No, I did not. So here's what we're going to do. Because I'm crazy like that. I'll show you what I'm talking about. And I'll be fired up. I'm going to wear it to those games. It's going to be dope. It's going to be dope. And where'd you go? There we go. Yes, I'm fired up. And those will be my first only two games of the year. Next week, and then the Crosstown. I think that's, yeah. So here's the question. Which hat do I wear? Do I wear this one, Lewis Robert? Although that one is kind of fly. The red pinstripe one? Or do I wear this one, the black one? That's tight too. That's really tight too, man. Holy sheesh. I got to figure out which one, man. That's... Whew. I think I'm doing... Here, we'll look at Will Venable. It's a little closer. Yeah. That's tight. Decisions. Which one do I wear? Which one do I get? And there's another one too. Oh, they got the two pairs of two socks, and it says White Sox on it. I'll find it for you. Man. That was dope. Excuse me. Yeah, they had that. Woo, Charlie, that was good. So there's a couple of different ones. Fanatics. Yeah, there's a couple different ones. Oh, did I say that? Here we go. So I'm fired up about what White Sox hat I'm going to get with the jersey. And this one's tight too. This one's really nice. Man, and I got this one too. Look at this. Only bad thing is that I'm getting it from Fanatics, so it's gonna count. They're gonna get their money. So, Ryan's up don't need no more damn money. And then we got the landscapers. So how crazy is this? We've got the landscapers who are doing their thing, and it's raining. Like how when you cut the grass, how do you? He's got the blower. Does the grass blow when you move it? I mean, it's wet. Yeah, it's wet. How do you move it? Oh, that's pretty dope. That I can rock with that one. Shit, I might have to end up getting 2 hats. That's like $100. I don't have a hat guy. Then look at this one. This one's nice. Royal blue or navy blue and red with the red bill. Not for this jersey, no, but just to have. Decisions. What am I going to do? Hey, Jay Grizz, we're in every damn game, all right? I don't care how we're in every game. Every damn game. Oh, man, but you know what? Let's get it crack-a-lacking, baby. Let's get it going. You know how we do, because we got at the top of the hour. I want to get through some of these top of the morning topics. So you know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
First top of the morning topic. Which way do we go? All right. Don't ever say I don't do anything for you, freaking psychos. The Cubs beat the Colorado Rockies, the lowly Colorado Rockies yesterday, 4-3-11. It took you 11 innings for these guys. Nice. Kate Horton got the start, and he's pitching very well. He got no decision. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 punch-outs. Matt Shaw with the game-winning RBI. He was 2 for 5. His 6th RBI of the season in the 11th, drove in the game-winning run. Seiya Suzuki was 1 for 5 with an RBI, his 50th of the season. That's crazy. Michael Busch was 1 for 5, driving in the 29th of the season. And PCA, he's right on Suzuki's tails. He had an RBI yesterday, and that brings him to 49 RBIs on the year. Listen, you know I can't stand the Cubs, or especially I can't stand the Cub fans. But goodness gracious, great balls of fire. That boy good. That boy good. That boy got talent. That boy got talent. Let me tell you something. He is an exciting young man. Watch. And I'll tell you, and how crazy is it? He's the most exciting player you guys have had since Javi, who, ironically, he got traded for Javi Baez. How crazy was that? Insane. Look at this stat. I was just going through some stuff. Look at this stat. last two players with 14 homers, 14 or more homers, 14 or more stolen bases through their first 51 games of the season. This is the list. Barry Bonds and Pete Crow Armstrong. Pete Crow Armstrong. What's his I want to say, I forgot his, is it Henry? Is that his middle name? I think that's his middle name. Because he had a home hit one time, and someone said Pete Henry Crow Armstrong. Here, we'll look at it this way. Yes, it is Henry. This is a crazy, crazy list. Now, can he keep it up? I don't know. But if I were a Cub fan, which I'm not, thank God, I'd be excited to see. Because if he keeps this pace up, that's MVP numbers. He's in the conversation. He's a majority of the conversation. But it's early sample size. Early sample size, so we'll see. Rick Gonzalez checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? Said good morning, Shawn, in the chat. FGB, baby. You know how it is. FGB. The Plankster's checking in. What's up, Plank? How are you, Papa? I said good morning, Shawn. Sports owners, bear down. Bear down, Plankster. Yes. Oh, Black Diamond in the house coming in blaspheming already. Says, yo, top of the morning, bro. Go, Scrubs, go. Come on, man. You know what? Got my White Sox, my new White Sox jersey. Yes, baby, yes. Read them and weep, baby. Read them and weep. You guys are lucky. You guys are lucky that your City Connect jerseys are pretty cool. Because I talk shit about those things too. Your other one, Wrigleyville. But your new ones are kind of tight. I'll give it up to you. Kind of tight. Like Diamond, you're making my eyes burn. Hey, go put on some sunglasses, baby. Go put on some sunglasses, dog. Oh, man. Staying with the Cubs, the top of the morning, top of the Cubs go for the sweep tonight at Wrigley Field. First pitch is at 7:05 Central. Probables for tonight's game for Colorado. Tanner Gordon's on a bump, 1-1 with a 4.37 ERA. He's going up against Matthew Boyd, who's on a bump for the Northsiders. He's 4-2 with a 3.42 ERA. Next top of the morning topic of my good guys, man. They're literally, it's one move here, one play here, one pitch there, one error here, one bad thought there. White Sox fall to the New York Mets 6-4 yesterday. Jonathan Cannon was on the bump. He got the loss. He's 2-6 on the season. He went 5 2/3, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 punch-outs. Miguel Vargas is continuing to tear this league up. He was 2 for 5 with a double, his 14th, a homer, his 8th, driving in his 24th, 25th, and 26th RBIs of the season. No studies, no Sky Tachman. He was 2 for 3 on the day as well. So staying with the Sox, the next top of the morning topic, the Sox look to avoid the sweep when they take on the Mets again today. First pitch is at 12:10 Central. The probables for the White Sox, Shane Smith, who's 1-3. He's just a hard luck pitcher. He has a 2.36 ERA going up against Griffin Channing. For the Metropolitans, he's 5-1 with a 2.88 ERA. Yeah, it's Shane Smith is really every year. There's always one Sox pitcher who just gets who pitches his lights out and just gets no run support. And that this year, that is Shane. It goes back to, we're talking Chris Sale, Jose Quintana, all these pitchers. There'd be a litany of pitchers. Every year, there'd be one guy that just couldn't get any run support. He'd lose 3-1, or 2-1, or 1-0. stuff like that. Let's see who else. Who else is? Levette Lee checking in. What's up, Ma? How are you? Thank you for checking in. She says, happy hump day, y'all. Yeah. Everybody with the pleasantries in the chat. I love it. I love it. I love it. The next top of the morning topic. Let's get this down. Man, rough one. Sky yesterday. The Sky fell to the Phoenix Mercury, dropped to 0-4 to start the season. 90 after a 94-89 loss. Ariel Atkins with 21 points. King Booker World, who should be checking in any moment. His future ex-wife, Camila Cardoso, she had 16 points, 9 rebounds. Courtney Vandersloot, 15 points, 11 assists. And Angel Reese, 13 points, 15 rebounds. Staying with the Sky, two things. One, the Sky will host the Dallas Wings tomorrow night at Wintrust Arena. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on the U, Channel 26, the U. Now, there is some news, and I just got a call this morning. The game against Caitlin Clark that was scheduled to be moved, that was not scheduled, that was moved to the United Center, will remain at the United Center. For those of you who don't know, Caitlin Clark is out for 2 weeks, the first time in her career, in her collegiate or professional career, that she's going to miss a game. She has a strained quad, and it doesn't look like she'll be in this. It doesn't look like she'll be able to play the Sky next week. They said 2 to 4 weeks, something like that. So Jason called me. He wanted just to let me know, King Booker World, we're just talking about you, big dog. Just talking about you. Giving us stats for your future ex-wife, Camila Cardoso. So it's good because remember, those tickets, I wonder how many tickets were sold. That's what I want to know. Because tickets at a secondary market are plummeting like a boulder in the ocean. The ticket prices are plummeting, but this is not a secondary market, which means those tickets were what? The Sky got their money already. Roberto Ramirez checking in. What's up, Papa? ¿Qué pasa, cabrón? Get on that way. Thank you for tuning in, Papa. I appreciate it. But yeah, the Sky tickets, and it sucks because that little rivalry is going, it's growing and growing, and I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, we need to play better. Angel Reese needs to play better. We have to win some of these, start winning these games and make it an actual competition, a competitive series. But I like it. It forced them to move the game to the United Center, more tickets. So people are trying to unload their tickets because they don't want to. There's no Caitlin Clark. This is how important she is to this league. This is how important. And all the bullshit that everybody else said about her and things and the hard fouls and Brittany Griner all upset. This young lady is single-handedly selling out arenas, causing opposing teams to move their games to NBA arenas, NBA-sized arenas. Her. One girl, and I know Caitlin Clark. I mean, I know Angel Reese. It was her in against Caitlin Clark with the "You Can't See Me," and that drew it all. But man, people are coming to see Caitlin Clark. People all over the country, every WNBA city, they are filling arenas. Now, many of them have been moved to NBA arenas, filling those arenas to see Caitlin Clark. If you didn't know how important, you didn't think she was how important, go look on the secondary market and see how many tickets are now, and cheap, $20, $25. Cheap tickets for the Sky Indiana Fever game. This girl alone, I'm telling you, WNBA owes her a debt of gratitude. And she, you know what? She just got to keep balling, which she does. She doesn't get caught up in it. And a lot of the bullshit that fans and she just wants to play. And man, does she play well. So that kind of sucks. Listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. Let me get the warden off to CrossFit. On the other side of the break, we have more top of the morning topics. We're going to finish up with a couple of those, a couple more. All right, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning. Oh, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Yeah. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. You know, I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Amador. And the next pitch, ground ball toward third, backhanded by Shawn. Long throw to first. He got him. Sensational play by Matt Shaw. He ran over to the third baseline, made the backhand for third inning. Here's a fly ball into left field. That's going to fall in there for a base hit. Everyone moves up 90. Cubs lead 1-0.
Yeah, it's the hanging breaking ball.
Freeman runs the pitch outside, throw to second base, and he's out. What a throw by Reese McGuire. That was a great throw by the Cubs catcher. Rookie Matt Shaw coming up. Crowd standing at Wrigley. The pitch. They're swinging a looper, shallow right field. It's a base hit. Here comes Bodie around third. He's going to score the winning run. Cubs win the ball game.
That's a big moment for a young guy in the league.
Welcome back to Shawn and Mom Sports Zone Chicago. That clip courtesy of the Marquee Network. That was your Cubs last night in 11. All right, walking it off. Big moment for him, his first walk-off. And, man, you guys, I'm telling you, you guys are getting better and better, and you're getting youngsters. See, Matt Shaw was up for a little bit. They sent him down. And now he's back. He's back. You know what? Hold on. Hold on for 1 second. We have. Hold on. Let me play this. Big news coming on Friday, guys. On Friday. Friday. All right. News on Friday. I'm fired up about it, excited. What are you saying, King? Is she out? Yeah, she's out. There she goes. She's off. We got her off. She's good to go. See her at 11:30. But where were we at? Where were we at? The next stop of the morning topic. So the Blackhawks, yesterday, the Blackhawks introduced their new head coach. Get over here, Jeff Blashill. All right. They introduced him yesterday to the media. 51 years old, is an assistant with Detroit. He's got a lot of work ahead of him. Got a lot of work ahead of him developing these young guys. All right. Connor Bedard still needs development. Frankie Nazar, all the other youngsters need some development. So he's got a daunting task ahead of him, but he was excited about it, about the opportunity to do that and develop these guys. Because if he can develop these guys and get them to a winner, man. So one of my biggest question marks for him is like, what coach is he? All right, what coach is he? Is he the guy to get us from A to B, or is this B to C or A to C guy? Is he the guy that can take it all the way, or is he the guy that is charged of development? Okay, like, I hate to say it, but Ricky Renteria, if you remember, he did that with the Cubs. He did that with the Sox. It worked out well with the Cubs, organization. It didn't work out that well with the Sox. They went and got stupid with Tony La Russa. That, I digress. That's the question I have for this situation. What is he going to do? Is he A to B or B to C? So I don't know. But man, you win in this town. Man, Coach Q can come back anytime, still not pay for a drink or pay for a dinner. Anytime Coach Q's back in the shy. Ozzy, he was on the radio this morning. He still loves it, man. He said, and you know what? Let me tell you something. From Ozzy's own mouth this morning, he said that's the reason he hasn't moved. He said that's the reason he hasn't moved. He said he had a whole bunch of people, family and friends, like, what are you doing? You're still living in Chicago? He's like, yeah. They're like, it's too cold. But he says the way that this city has embraced him and loved his family, it's second to none. And now his grandkids he has grandkids here now from Ozzy Jr. and I think Osney. Got 3 grandkids, I want to say. And the way this city treats them, he's like, he loves it. He loves it. And if you can do that, you can bring a title to this town as a coach, man. King Booker World, don't even start, dog, because you're going to get me fired up. Fired up. He should still be the manager. Don't get me fired up, because you know what? We wouldn't have had to go through this second rebuild. Luis Robert will be performing at an MVP level. Yoel Moncada will be performing at an all-star level. Eloy Jimenez would be at an all-star level. Tim Anderson would still be here performing at an all-star level. All those guys would have been performing at all-star levels with Ozzy here. Man, you trying to get me fired up this morning, aren't you, King Booker World? Man. Man. What's the next top of the morning topic, man? Because I'm fired up, dog. You started some shit, King Booker World. The Bears back at OTA yesterday. Yesterday up in Hallis Hall, and it's good to see them back. All right, it's great to see them back. It's good to see more football. All right, I understand. All right, we understand that they're in shorts and a t-shirt. But man, they dominate this market. This is a Bears town. This is a Bears town. King Booker World said, I'm in the gym about to put up 300. Just thinking about it. Rick Gonzalez says, did the Sky have the Chicago's last championship or the Scrubs? No, it's the Sky. The Sky was 3 years ago. Yeah. They're in the 2020s. They won it. Rick. Scrubs is 9 years this year since the Cubs. 9 years. Can you believe that? 9 years. Just think next year will be the 10-year anniversary of the Cubs winning the World Series. This is why I tell you, let your loved ones know you love them, because tomorrow is promised to no one. How fast did that 9 years go? Cub fans, talking to you. How fast did that 9 years go? From you winning the title to 2015. How fast did that time go? So enjoy it. Enjoy it. You know, let's see where we at now here. Next time of the morning topic, the NBA playoffs, baby. Wow. Eastern Conference Finals. The Pacers beat the Knicks 130-121 in Naptown down in Indianapolis to go up 3-1 in the series. They can win it at home when on, what's today's date? Friday? Thursday. Tomorrow. The Pacers can clinch their second trip to the NBA Finals with a victory tomorrow in New York. Man, how crazy would that be? That's right, because New York has the home court. Whew. And a side note to that. All right. John Halliburton, Tyrese Halliburton's father, was in the building. Remember, he went up to LeBron and was starting shit, and he got banned. And so they let him in. But however, he had to be in the suite. Oh my God. How terrible was that? I don't know how he did it. How did he do it? Couldn't go down to the court side. He had to stay in the suite with free food and drinks. How did he survive? How would any of us survive? If the only way you can go to the basketball game is to sit in the suite, how would any of us survive? They bring the dessert cart around, and you're forced to eat those delectable, rich desserts. Unlimited food, hamburgers, hot dogs, burgers, maybe Italian beef. Who knows what they got in there? How the hell are you supposed to survive a game sitting watching it from a suite? How did his father, John Halliburton, survive that game yesterday? How did he do it? King Booker was right. The horror. Unbelievable. Knicks fans are complete tools. Rick Gonzalez, I can't stand the Pacers. They're like the Twins to me. I want in New York. You know why? Because I went to school with a lot of New Yorkers. My roommate from college is a New Yorker. Actually, he was on TV. Game 1, it was on TV. And that's funny. I think I talked to you about it last week. And I sent him a text, and because I have DVR cable, I can rewind it. So I rewound it, took a picture of him clapping, and because New Yorkers, and maybe I got a soft spot. Maybe that's what it is. I think that's what it is. I have a soft spot because I lived in New York for 2 years. And let me tell you, I talked so much shit in 91, 92. And I didn't get to talk shit to my New Yorkers in 93 because I graduated college in 93. And here's what happened. The Bulls were playing the Knicks. All right, in Eastern Conference Finals. And the Knicks went up 2-0. And then we graduated because we graduated on Memorial Day. So I couldn't talk shit to my friends in 93. Because then after that, I came home the next day after on Tuesday after Memorial Day. And cell phones, there weren't cell phones back then. And that was a long distance call. So you think I want to get my ass beat? Just to talk shit so I could call my friends in New York and talk shit on a long distance call? That wasn't happening. That wasn't happening. So at least in 91, 92, after 91, I went back. 92, after 92, I went back for 93. The 92, 93 season, I got to talk shit. So I actually felt bad for them. Because they made it to the finals and got swept by Houston. They claim they're the basketball mecca of the world. Like, yeah, okay, great. How many titles have you won? When was the last time you won them? So I kind of had a soft spot for the Knicks. And I know New Yorkers, man, if they would have won, I mean, there's still a chance. Slim and none, and Slim's about to leave town. But I knew New Yorkers would have been unbearable. But I can say, look, man, we did it 6 times. Relax. Most New Yorkers weren't even around the last time they won the NBA championship. Is it 73, 74? Chicago Bulls, former Chicago Bulls head coach Phil Jackson was on the team. Senator Bill Bradley, who has been in the stands, was on the team. And a lot of New Yorkers were kids, don't even remember it. So I was rooting for the Knicks a little bit. You know, they haven't seen no, they did see a winning time. They saw the New York Liberty win last year. New York Liberty won. When was their last title? Oh, then the Yankees win one with the Judge. Yeah, so I just kind of have a soft spot. I just don't like Indiana. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the home. It's the home of the KKK. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I just don't like Indiana. Don't have a good reason for it. Don't know. What do you guys? Oh, it was 73. Okay. Long time, man. 52 years. 52 years since they last won. I'm telling you, New Yorkers were fired up, boy. Man. You could tell they were focused, boy. King Booker World said the only reason I wanted New York was because of Brunson. Chicagoland's very own. Yeah. Jalen Brunson, baby. You got to love it. Except I don't like the way they're playing basketball. It's a lot of Jalen Brunson. A little too much. A little hero ball at the end of that clock. But it's working for him. Him and Julius Randle. But it's working for him. And then Malik, the other kid that went to Villanova. He's had some nice games. Tibbs just, who was it? Was it Kenny Smith? Because New York's rotation is so short. It's like 7 guys. Maybe 8. Maybe 8. Kenny Smith said it on TNT on the broadcast. He's like, Tom Thibodeau won't play 9 players in a baseball game. He won't play 9 players in a baseball game, and it's true. Especially in the playoffs. Man. But I think you're seeing this is history repeating itself. This is a team getting tired because of the long minutes that they play all season, the intensity with which they play all season, and in the playoffs, Tibbs doesn't take them out at the end of the games when they're up or down big. But we've seen this with Tibbs when he was here. We saw it. You saw it in Minnesota. We see it now with the Knicks. A leopard never changes his stripes. So it's unfortunate. It looks like the Knicks are going to fall tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Is it tomorrow or is it tonight? Let me double check. Yeah, tomorrow. Because T-Wolves and Thunder are tonight. But I'll tell you what, does anyone else have a problem with the way they're calling the game? Like, I don't mind the physical play, but man, like you can knock people over, you can hack them, you can grab their arm, hit them in the head, and no call. I'm okay with the physical play. I'm more than okay with it. But you got to draw a line. You got to draw a line. You can't let guys just run over, knock people over, body them, hit their arm. What does Stacey say? You get 5 to 10 on the street for that. So it's like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, it's from one extreme to the other, from touch fouls and flopping to now you get guys just getting literally knocked the hell over. In the air, guys are getting hit. So I think they need to they got to do a better job of being more consistent. More consistent. Man, my White Sox are struggling, but I'll tell you what, I like the way they're playing. I like the way they're playing. We have a couple pieces here that need development. And what did I talk about? Remember on Friday? That was the last time I saw you. It's been a while. Remember I went off and said, why didn't you send Andrew Vaughn down to the minors? Boom. 20 minutes later, Andrew Vaughn's down in the minors. He's been up here since 21. Come on, dog. It's your 5th season. And hopefully it works. Hopefully you go down, you work on everything. Life is about perspective. If you go down and look at it as a demotion and look at it as a setback, then it defeats the purpose. But if you go down and look at an opportunity to work on your swing, work on your patience, work on your discipline, your plate discipline, work on taking the ball in the opposite field, work on squaring it up, then it's a productive trip down to the minors. Everything's about perspective. How is Andrew Vaughn taking this trip down to the minors, down to Charlotte? How is he taking it? Because he never really developed into what we wanted. Hopefully for him and Sox Nation, hope he can come back and start tearing shit up. It happens. It happens a lot. Cub fans, look at PCA. PCA was striking out a lot last year. Not having a good season. They sent him back down. It happens. Cub fans, Cubs are doing well. They're playing well, man. They're exciting. You're never out of it. Cubs fans never feel, oh man, this game's over. We're down 2 in the bottom of the 9th. They never feel that. But more importantly, the players don't feel that either. The players don't feel that. And any deficit in the 9th, it's like, oh, okay, we've done it again. We'll do it again. Stop it, Patty. Good morning, but stop it. Don't start that nonsense. But you're playing with a guy who might be the most exciting. Put it this way. He could be the most exciting player in baseball. Although O'Neal Cruz and Dela Cruz from Cincinnati might have an argument in there as well. But you're playing with a guy who is extremely, extremely exciting. And the thing about when you watch him play, he is enjoying life. He's enjoying the fact that he plays baseball for a living. Similar to the way Javi did. And again, like I said, how ironic. You traded Javi to get him. So Cub fans are in a good spot. You're in a good spot. All right, the way your rotation is gone, since some of your pitchers went down, Justin Steele, who's back in the dugout this weekend or this week with the boys. I'll tell you what, that goes a long way. People don't understand how just being around the guys is therapeutic, how it can help you come back. All right, you lost Justin Steele for the year. Shota's out for a while, and your bullpen has been doing well. You guys are sitting in a really nice spot after that bitch of an opening couple of weeks. My God. And you came out of that in first place. You're sitting, hey, the NL Central is there for the taking, Cub fans. It's there for the taking. And I'll tell you what, Craig Counsell is about to take it. He's got these guys. You hit the high mark, 12 games over 500 now? 12 games over 500? That's insane. It's been a while since you've been 13 games, over 500. It's been a long time since you've been 13 games over. One of the hottest teams in baseball. Let's see, where are you at as far as streaks go? Scrubs. Look at this shit. 8 out of the last 10. You've won 8 out of your last 10 games. The Yankees are tied with you with the last 10. With 8 wins out of the last 10. There's only one team better, and that's the Philadelphia Phillies, who are 9-1 in their last 10 games. You guys are playing very, very well. How long are they keep it up? We're going to find out. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk a little Bears football, baby, with our man Evan Winter. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Chicago Bears and Nicholas Moriano, Zach Pearson, and Sean Hammond. Those were the boys last week. And I'm excited. They're back at OTAs. I'm excited to talk to this guy. This guy over here. I'm true with this guy. I'm glad to talk to this guy over here. Forget about it. He is the main man. He's the co-managing editor of A to Z Sports in the NFL department over there. You can find him on Twitter at Evan_ATOZ, A to Z. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Evan Winters. Evan, what's up, Papa? Good morning. How are you?
Shawn, what's up, man? Good to talk to you. It's been a long time, so got plenty to recap over the last couple months.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has, Doctor. And I'm fired up, man. So let's go back to the beginning. How happy were you with the draft? The lack of running backs in the early round, it seemed like they kept getting sniped right before someone would take, rumor had it Travion Henderson went right before us to the Patriots. They wanted him and our running back that they got.
Yeah, so ultimately taking a slight step back, I think the Bears set themselves up perfectly for the draft by solidifying the offensive line, right? Bringing in Tooney via trade and then Jackson via trade and Dahlman, through free agency. That allowed them to pretty much do whatever they wanted to do at number 10, right? They weren't pressing for a need. I mean, sure, they had places they needed to address, but the offensive line was the foremost priority, as we saw last year. That had to be fixed. They did that. Now they have 3 veterans that they can rely on. They don't have a rookie they're throwing in there. So now they can do whatever they wanted to. So I loved it, man. Colson Loveland is going to be an absolute just weapon in this offense. And then you got Luther Burden coming in, who's a really good route runner. Not exactly like Keenan Allen, but has a lot of similarities in his game and what he can do. And then, going back to the running back position, and we talked about this, I think, the last time that we spoke with Ben Johnson and his offense. He's all about creating matchups, right, and taking advantage of other defenses. He's very good at that. So I look at the running back, I almost, except for offensive line, I kind of look at every skill position on this. And sorry, that was a weird way to phrase things. I didn't mean to say that offensive line is a skill position. But anyway, outside of the offensive line, yes, you want guys, right? Dudes over plays all day long, right? But at the same time, I feel like Ben Johnson's scheme is good enough to where you don't have to press yourself into a need if you have good players elsewhere. And that's what the Bears have on offense. So they've got a good 2-headed back in DeAndre Swift. They've got, Roschon can catch and he can run. He can do a little bit of both, a little bit better of a power runner overall at the end of the day. But they've got 2 really good backs that they can mix in there. We'll see what the 7th rounder does. Forgive me, I struggle with his name.
Manungai.
Manungai, there we go. Manungai just sounds like a made-up name. I don't know why. But anyways, and then Travis Homer, as a good depth guy. So, yeah, let's see what happens in camp and stuff. Maybe they bring one more guy in, to kind of flesh out the room. But overall, I think they did a great job on the offensive side of the ball. And then when you look at defense, the Ruben Hippolyte selection didn't come to the combine. First time that's ever happened, right, in the first 4 rounds of the draft. Then you got Shamar Turner. But, dude, let me tell you, and I know he's a 5th-round pick, but Zaw Frazier I pick like 3 to 5 draft crushes every single year. Oh, well, after I go through and evaluate them, right? Zoff Frazier was easily one of my top 2 draft crushes this year.
Really?
Dude, love his game. He's tall, he's lanky, he's fast, he's got ups, he's a ball hawk. Getting that in the 5th round, once you get to the 5th round, it's all about upside. It's all about traits. It's all about talent, right? And he's got all the talent in the world. And with Dennis Allen running the show now, Eberflus out of the picture. I don't know, man. There's got a lot of potential there with that pick.
So do you think that has a that's a message to Tyreek Stevenson?
Could be. Yeah, I mean, dude, you never want to judge somebody on one play, but we all know how bad that play was last year. I think we all know what I'm talking about here. Don't have to say it.
Turn the season literally that play alone. And we never say as a football player and coach, I never say, hey, this one play determined the game. There are always other, but that play turned the game and turned that season completely around, a complete 180, because they're doing well, and that was not.
And you never want to judge somebody on one moment, right? Like that's not. We want to live life. You just don't want to do that. But when it's that bad, you're gonna be second guessing around this guy until he stacks 2 to 3 solid years together. Probably has to make a Pro Bowl or 2 somewhere. I mean, the dude's got an uphill climb moving forward, and every little thing he does wrong now is going to be magnified even more. So it could very well be a message to Tyreek at the end of the day.
Guys, we're joined by Evan Winter from A to Z Sports. I'm the co-managing editor for the NFL department. We're talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Yeah, so maybe it is. And you got a guy here, and here's the thing is like this guy likes to do a little we're talking Dennis Allen likes to blitz a little bit. Which puts you in man coverage a lot. He likes to bring minimum 5. And maybe that was the linebacker, the Ruben what was it, Penatite?
Hippolyte, yeah.
Hippolyte.
Great. These last names are great, man. I love how as we push on the NFL, NFL years, just all these different names come in. It makes my job harder. I'm not gonna lie, but I still love it at the end of the day. And then even Ozzie Trapillo, that whole name, but forgot to mention him real quick. I love that pick too. He was a big prospect of mine. He wasn't one of my draft crushes, but he was definitely one of my guys that were up there, mainly because of his size and his athleticism at that size. 6'8", 310.
And he seems like an asshole too in between the whistles.
Love it.
Give me one of those dudes.
Yes,
he's a monster of a man. He's an asshole between the whistles. And dude, there's nothing like having a dude that big who just doesn't like people between the whistles. Like Tevin Jenkins was great, but if Tevin Jenkins was 6'8", holy cow, and healthy. But
right, and that's the main
one thing that I noticed about Ozzie is that being that tall, he doesn't use it. He doesn't allow it to be a detriment to him.
Okay,
because it can be a detriment because a lot of people bend at the waist because you're so tall. When you bend at the waist, you throw off your balance. He bends at the knees, and he stays on balance. He's able to retain his power, his balance, his core strength, his punch. I like it. I like it a lot. And man, they're literally saying, "Hey, dog, we don't know when Braxton Jones is coming back. We know whenever he does come back, he will not have had a full offseason to lift weights because of his. I don't know about you, but I don't think you can squat with a broken ankle. Call me crazy. I don't know. All right. So his strength, his explosion, his power is going to be compromised. Here's a chance for you to step in, rookie, and hope he takes advantage of it. But he's a nasty son of a bitch, man. I've watched the thing. I'm like, oh, okay, I like that kind of party, baby. So
yeah,
that pick was a nice one.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but and just a quick side note, I think it's awesome how this offseason, Ryan Poles said it, and I think Kevin, but the president losing his last. Yeah, Kevin, there we go. Yeah. Sorry, I blanked on that one. But they said at the beginning, they said, before they hired Ben Johnson, that they wanted to find a leader of men. They wanted to pretty much up the tough guy scale because obviously last year there was just too much pussyfoot around. Let's just be real. And so they go out, get Ozzie, they get all these other guys, and then you hear about Ben
Shawn
Johnson.
Turner. Yeah.
And then you hear about
Grady Jarrett.
Veteran leader, right. And so then you hear about Ben Johnson during the first week of OTAs just being as tense as hell, just, not letting anything slide, setting that culture. And then you had guys like Grady Jarrett and Kevin Byard talking about how that's what was needed based from they didn't say based from last year, but they insinuated it. So it's just like this big full circle moment of the Bears building this team and absolutely moving on from last year's identity that Eberflus and everybody else had in place, which was definitely more of a carefree style. And we saw how that turned out. So I just love how it's been a full circle moment, and the Bears are living up to their word. Now it's just about what happens over these next 6 to 8 months.
It was an issue, and it's indicated that they knew it was an issue just by the draft picks and the signings. Like we meant those names. Grady Jarrett was a dog.
Yep.
In Atlanta. 10 years, that dude was a dog. And he reminded me, I'm telling you, he reminded me of John Randall. All right. He reminded me of John Randall. Then you bring in Shamar Turner. Shamar Turner is the dude who punched the dude in the nuts. All right. He got pancaked and he's off balance, and the dude took advantage of it. Hats off to him. Pancaked him. The dude stood over him and he hit him in the nuts. Now, mind you, I'm going to reel it back a little bit with him. But give me a guy who plays on that edge. I'd much rather have to bring him back than try and get him to play with that type of intensity.
Yep.
And again, with the Grady Jarrett signing, him mentoring Shamar Turner, him mentioning Gervon Dexter, him mentoring Austin Booker, there's a lot that is going to be learned by those guys from him, and I love it because he has a motor. Man, Grady Jarrett just does not stop. Again, like John Randall. So it's a good situation for those young guys. And then Dennis Allen, all right, it starts at the top of the DC, and then you got Grady Jarrett, who's more than happy to mention those guys. And man, I'm excited about the defense as well. So things are going to be good, man. Things are going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Talk to me about the offensive side, Caleb. Caleb is what about this whole situation where Caleb talks to a writer? And says he didn't want to come to Chicago. All right, they were going to do a whole bunch of things to not get drafted by the Bears, maybe avoid it, maybe go to the UFL. They looked at legal options. Your thought on that whole situation, which eventually he finally said, he's like, fuck it, I'll just go to the Bears and I'll win,
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's really tough. And, you got to look at the final outcome, right? And Caleb made a decision, look, I'm not going to try to tear this city down, or I'm not going to try to, light things on fire. Ultimately, he was trying to find ways out, yes, but he wasn't going to just pull a Mike Williams, right? Or God, what was the running? Maurice Claret. He wasn't going to try to, pull that from back in the day where they challenged it and all that stuff. And we all saw how it turned out for both of those guys ultimately. Just looking at it through the lens of a fan, I wouldn't like it. And it's going to be really hard to get on the Caleb bandwagon unless he starts playing really well and starts doing big things. That's how I would look at it. And I don't blame anybody for thinking that way. I think both parties can be right in a certain extent to how this is viewed. And if you look at it again through the first point I made about how sure this all went through his mind, and let's be real. These number one overall picks, or these, pretty much consensus number one overall picks, I guarantee you, they would be lying if they sat there and told you that they never had a doubt about possibly going to whatever team's going to pick them, right? Because that team sucked the year before. They were horrible. So, of course, they're going to have doubts. And let's be real, Chicago's quarterback history hasn't been good. And last year exemplified having to watch tape alone, the stuff with Shane Waldron. I mean, let's be real. His dad was kind of right going into last year in a vacuum. We're talking about in a vacuum. But now the scenery has completely changed. The environment has completely changed. I think Caleb recognizes that. And he's said as much, last week during the presser about how he's not worried about it. He's going to put his best foot forward, things like that. I think they did a good job making up to him in year two after what happened last year. So there's just a lot of conflicted feelings, man. I don't blame either side for looking at it how they want to. If I was a fan, though, personally, I would be leaning on the side of this dude's going to have to earn my trust back at the end of the day.
Yeah, a lot of his fears that they had were realized last year.
Yeah.
Again, I'm more of the I can't believe the offensive coordinator wouldn't watch film with you.
Crazy.
I don't believe that. There's got to be an exaggeration. There's got to be some hyperbole to that because there's never an issue with any other quarterbacks. With Geno Smith, with Russell Wilson, there wasn't an issue. Okay, so now there's an issue with him. And this is part of your job description. You're the offensive coordinator. You need to do this. Now, it might not be the whole time. Your majority of your time might be watching film by yourself, but there's going to be a time, either at the facility or at home. But there's got to be a time when we sit down, and you and I sit down as the offensive coordinator, and we go over, coverages, tendencies, whatever. So I find it very hard to believe, and we're only hearing one side of the story.
Yeah.
All right. But like you said, when it's all said and done today, Caleb chose to come here, which says a lot about him and his character. Okay. And I'm anxious to see how well this works. You mentioned Luther Burden. He was pissed. He's pissed. He got passed over. You're getting a lot of guys here, both sides of the ball, who got a little bit of a freaking attitude. And I like it a lot. You got a guy, even in his press conference, he was a little snippy. It's very standoffish with the media, and that's cool. He's like, "Oh, you're going to pay. Oh, they're going to," and you'd love it. I love it. And maybe this also melts. Maybe this also helps Caleb too, because some people are going to turn on him. And if he uses that motivation, and as long as he realizes it doesn't matter as long as you win. And if you use this as motivation, you come out and you hit that 4,000 yard, you hit that 30 touchdown, you get us to the playoffs. Guess what? Not very many people are going to be having a bad word to say about it.
Nope, not at all. And Burden's really interesting to me too, because especially the chip on his shoulder. And I'm not saying this is true or not. This is just what people said. Reports were put out there, and obviously not trying to parrot just anybody out there. These were credible reporters and whatnot, insiders saying this stuff. But apparently a big reason why his draft stock fell was because of not wanting to practice. Apparently at Missouri, he wasn't the best practice player. Sometimes he had attitude issues, so on and so forth. So it was really more about what he was doing and what he could control at the end of the day in terms of his mental space. So I'm wondering, how much is that going to help him flip potentially? Again, I'm not saying, I don't want to say all that's in concrete and true and everything like that, but if even half of it's true, how much of that fall will it wake him up and be like, holy shit, like, okay, it might not be completely true, might not be completely fair, but there is a perception of me out there, and it came to fruition during the draft. So now I need to do what I need to do in order to skip that or ease that reputation, to bridge that gap. Or is he just going to let it snowball and, continue to trickle down? It's going to be really interesting to see. And real quick, just to make a parallel, I want to be fast about this because obviously this is a Bears show. But for instance, Hassan Reddick, all the crap he pulled last year, he doesn't show up to the first day of Bucs OTAs. Completely voluntary. Sure. But after last year, going into this year, knowing that this is a make or break year for your career, wouldn't you want to be a Boy Scout and just show up to everything and make sure that you're doing everything right, both perception and internally wise, to get yourself out of that mold, so to speak? I don't know. It's just one of those things that's going to be really interesting to watch as the season unfolds.
It says a lot to your teammates too.
Yep.
It shows them a lot, and I get it. They understand it's voluntary. They understand that sometimes you don't want to go for whatever reason. You're a veteran, you don't want to do OTAs, but it says a lot. Like, hey, this guy could be gone because it's voluntary, but he's here. Yep. I personally think it sets a good tone for your tenure, because your teammates. And this is where your trust is built. Here's where your trust is built. And I like it. I like it a lot. And yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it a lot. It's just, this is the way championship teams are built, right? You show up to everything, whether it's voluntary or not. You show up, you get there, you get the work in with your teammates. You start bonding. Because every single championship team that I played on or coached, the camaraderie among the guys is second to none. And this is where you start building it right now. So
100%.
I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it a lot, man. A lot. Anything else? How happy are you? They're back at OTAs. All right, yesterday. Luther wasn't there last week because of a soft tissue injury. Any concerns with that?
No, and I think also too, he hasn't signed his contract yet, his rookie deal. And man, second round contracts are getting more and more complicated these days. Our guy Cole Noble put out a really good article just a few days ago on him, Trapillo, and the third second round pick. Sorry, it's slipping my mind. But he put a really good article out there explaining just how complicated these contract negotiations are getting, especially since the 33rd and 34th pick. One of them was Jalen Noel. I can't think of who the other pick was. But second round picks, they got fully guaranteed deals this year, which is the first time that's ever happened. Oh. So it's weird too, because in the second round, as the picks go down, the money goes up. It's such a weird dynamic right now. So they got to get all that figured out, before he can even hit the field. But maybe that'll give him some time to help nurse that injury. Kind of a complicated situation right now, but I ultimately wouldn't worry about it right now. No.
Give me your thoughts on Ben Johnson and his staff. These guys, they showed on the news. People have been interviewing their staff. Eric Bieniemy, Antoine Randall L, local product. Excited, or how happy are you with the staff that he's compiled, but also the way that they're coaching?
Yeah, I think Dennis Allen was the biggest hire of the offseason. And I mean, what he's going to do for this defense, it should immediately be a top 10 defense in 2025, especially when you look at what he had in New Orleans when the New Orleans defense was at its best. He had playmakers on all three levels, and it was anchored, honestly, by Demario Davis at the second level. What Demario Davis allowed him to do in terms of just his back-end coverages, his pass rush, blitzing packages, all that stuff really opened up the defense because he had a guy on the second level who could do everything. And that's what he has with Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards. And then you look at the back end, he's got pieces that he can move all over the back end in terms of Jalen, Jaquan. Now that he's fully healthy and back in the fold, he had his big tweet, a week or two ago saying he's good to go and ready, which is great to hear. And just fingers crossed that guy stays healthy, because not only do you just want players to stay healthy, but obviously his are head injuries, concussions, and that's just a whole nother stage, a whole nother level. So hopefully he can be all right this year and stay healthy in that regard. But when you look at the defensive line, this is something I wanted to quickly mention too. If Austin Booker can even take a half step forward this year, you've got a legit 7-man rotation across the defensive line. And that is huge. I mean, you know how big that is. You cannot understate. I mean, look at the Eagles last year. You cannot understate having that kind of defensive line rotation, especially at a high level. So when you look at this defense, man, the pieces are in place. You've got the guy in Dennis Allen, who might have not have been a great head coach, but he's an excellent defensive coordinator. I'm stoked, man. Absolutely stoked for that. But yeah, and then Antoine Randall L., I think he's going to get the most out of this Bears receiving core. Obviously, did some big things last year. Didn't live up to the reputation coming in, but that was also because of a lot of things around them too, so it wasn't fully on them. But Rome Aduze already impressing. Ben Johnson saying he looks like a seasoned pro through OTAs, just 2 years into the league, or I guess a year and a half in the league, however technical you want to get. And then things like that, man. So, this coaching staff, they know how to win. And they're trying to implement that foundation and set that standard here. And, I think it's going to happen. Isn't it wild, man? We've been doing this now, been coming on for like 3 years now. And every year, like, you can see it, right? You can see what the product could be on the field. I think this year we can see it even more, but it has more of a realistic chance of happening this year than ever before, which is exciting.
Well, yeah, because there was, and one of the biggest things is I know there's a guy I know who's pretty smart, who always had this saying, coaching matters. And, last year there was, the last 2 years, they were poised to do good things, but they had poor coaching. Poor coaching. Bad. Horseshit even. And that might even be an insult to horseshit coaches. Not as bad as they were. And, to have and waste all that talent is coaching malpractice.
100%.
And now it seems like a guy seems like he knows what he wants, hires good coaches, competent coaches, demanding coaches, extremely respected coaches throughout the league on his staff, coaches who have been through it before. Because I think the smartest thing was hiring Dennis Allen, not just because it's DC, but because he's been a head coach. And I'll tell you what, I don't think Dennis Allen's going to get another crack at being a head coach for a while, which means if this thing goes well, Dennis Allen's going to be here for 5 or 6 years.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a continuity that you want. There's no – so coming into 26, and my biggest thing is I can't wait till the 26 season starts. I'm going to be 10 toes down for 25. But I can't wait till 26 when Caleb's not learning the offense. When DJ, Roma Dunze, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, Cole Kmet, if he's still here, are not learning a new offense. They're refining it. It's muscle memory. And then Caleb and Ben Johnson are on the same page, theoretically. Okay, here's what I want to do in this situation. Here's what I want to do in this situation. When they're on that same page, that's what I want to see. When his offensive line it has a whole season under their belt and how great this offense can be. Again, I'm 10 toes down in 25, but I can't wait to 26 because of the culture, and it's going to be fun to watch seeing these guys being coached hard and playing after being coached hard because great athletes, superstar athletes, most of them, just about all of them don't want to be coddled. They don't give a shit. Coach me hard because I want to be great. And this is what this staff is doing, and that's why I'm so happy with Ben Johnson and his staff.
Yeah, man. And then two really under the radar hires that I think just haven't been talked about enough, but we're going to see the impact on the season is Al Harris and Matt Giordano. Obviously, we all remember Al Harris, especially his moment with Matt Hasselbeck back in 2004. Yeah, I'm dating myself, I know. But the infamous we're going to get the ball and we're going to win in overtime, and then Harris just pick six them straight up. One of the most iconic football memories of my life. So you've got him there, who obviously a lot more storied career, a lot more production than Matt Giordano. But Matt Giordano still played like 7 to 10 seasons in the league, something like that, and was just that good glue veteran. So not only are you going to have a coach that comes in here and knows the ways of the NFL, so on and so forth, but he's going to create that culture. He's going to help instill that bonding, that nature, and just that team before me type attitude that he had throughout his entire career. And again, he lasted, I think it was 9 years. Regardless, and I think he was a late round draft, or he was a 4th round draft pick. So just to have that kind of hard work attitude guy on the coaching staff, that's almost just as valuable as having a 7-time All-Pro on the staff coaching up guys, because it's just 2 different perspectives and 2 different ways of getting things done in the NFL. And the players can find a way to combine both of those. Boom. We've got arguably the best secondary in the NFL.
Yeah, and before I let you go, I do love the fact that we got former players. Eric Bieniemy has risen to the ranks of well-respected, coach. Antoine Randall L is a former player, well-respected coach, just like Eric Bieniemy. All right, Al Harris. These guys it means something. Because when I tell you something, I'm not telling you something because I heard about it I'm telling you because I played it and I've experienced it. And that goes a long way. That alone demands respect. When they tell you something, they know, I'm like, man, this dude's been in the same situations, they walk the same path as I'm walking now. And that's why I love it. And that's why I think that it's a great staff that he's assembled. And I think that this great staff, along from Ben Johnson, because it all starts at the top. Ben Johnson is a strict and anal son of a gun. He wants things done right. He stopped plays in the middle, like, no, let's do it again. Run it again. I need this precise. And that, if you set the standard, like Tom, standard is a standard. If you set that standard here and you don't deviate from it, guess what? Everybody, great players, every team will just rise to it. So I love what's going on. I'm trying not to get too excited because of what I see.
Right.
Okay, because they still got to play, get on the field and play. But man, I do love a hell of a lot of what I'm seeing. So
yeah, you don't want to be jaded from the last couple of years, but at the same time, it's hard, right? Exactly. It's hard not to be, especially like we just mentioned, of just what we've seen, the ups and downs over the last few years. But yeah, this team is absolutely poised to do some big things in 2025, and hopefully they do it, because let's just be real. When the Bears are rolling, the NFL is just so much better and so much fun. And I've mentioned this on here. I've always had a soft spot for the Bears. I don't know why, because I've been in Tennessee my entire life, but I've always followed them and stayed pretty close to them. And especially when we started off as a site, I really covered them really closely. So I'm pulling for them, man. We'll see what they do, but this is easily the best position they've been in. Probably 7, 8, 10 years that I can think of just from the outside. You would know that question or the answer to that question a lot better than I would. But yeah, man, loving what they're doing. Let's just see, though. It's all been talk and it's all been paper so far. We need to see this happen on the field, and that's going to be the MO going into 2025.
Yeah, I'm tired of winning the freaking offseason, dude. I'm tired of being offseason champion.
Yeah.
All right, we got 4 or 5 consecutive offseason, champion trophies in Dallas Hall. You don't mean a goddamn thing. Give me a Lombardi, which means that the world, So,
yep.
Hey, listen, bro, great stuff. Evan, I appreciate it. Do me a favor before you go. Let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, we'll start with the second part first, and you can find me on AtoZSports.com. We're all 32 NFL teams, full go. We've got about 10 to 12 college teams. We're going to expand the college market a little bit more this year as well. So exciting times as we continue to build over there. And then you can find me on, almost said Twitter, on X at Evan_A to Z.
Great stuff, buddy, man. I appreciate the time as always. Hey, where in Tennessee are you? You in Nashville, Knoxville?
Nashville, 15 minutes.
Nashville. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes,
I
sir.
still got to visit that town. I heard it's a great town. A lot of live music, a lot of drinks.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, in the last 10 to 15 years, it has just blown up. It's easily one of the premier cities. And, man, yeah, if you ever come down, hit me up. I'll take you on a tour. No problem there.
My good friend of mine, my fullback, actually, from one of my playing days, is a football coach. I was, but he's still coaching. And they go down to a different SEC school every year. Like the staff that he coaches, they go down. They've been in Tennessee, but they went to Vandy. And
Nice.
He's had it like 2 or 3 years ago. They went to Vandy, and he just had a blast down in Nashville.
Yeah, man, it's fun, dude. And Vandy's a great spot because all you got to do is hook a right out of the stadium, and you're like 7 to 10 minutes from downtown. So it's a nice little conglomerate of things to do for sure.
Cool, man. Again, thanks a lot, buddy, and you have a great day, and we will talk soon.
All right, sounds great, man. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, Evan. Guys, that's Evan Winter from A to Z Sports. Man, we're in a good spot. I agree with you. It should be a no issue. I'm still annoyed by it more than anything. But my thing, and I should have asked. That was a question. Right, I have it right here. Do you think Caleb should speak about it? Do you guys think that Caleb should speak about it? I think he should. Okay, I think that you guys are silly. You guys are crazy. You guys are fired up in the chat. I'm not going to post some of these, but you guys are fired up in the chat about other people. Shorty, your comment about one of the people from one of the other podcasts, he's never had his ass kicked. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting how so many people, there's a lot of contrary takes. Yeah, he should one time. You know what? Here's the thing. You know what's really funny? So many times in life, when you just hit issues head on, they're usually not as big as you may think. Okay, and then it's water under the bridge. You're done talking about it. All right, Caleb could come out with, if he came out with a little bit of an attitude and said, look, I'm going to deal with this one time and one time only. I'm not going to take any more questions on this shit after today. But people in my camp, we were concerned. This hadn't been a good spot for us, or there hasn't been a good spot for quarterbacks. Okay, but at the end of the day, I decided to come here because I wanted to change that narrative. I wanted to win in the best football city in the world. And I felt I had the talent to do it. Last year was a hiccup, but now this year, I'm really looking forward to, you know what I mean? End of story. Just deal with it straight on. And it's about 10 to 12 minutes of maybe a couple questions. And that's it. I'm out. All right. Anytime someone asks, next question. I addressed it. Next question. But the Bears don't ever want to look bad. The Bears don't ever want to deal with issues. But they're letting it linger. All right. When is Caleb going to be made available? Because as soon as Caleb is made available, those are the 5 to 10 questions that are going to be asked of him. Not how's camp going, not how OTA is going. How's your connection with Luther Burden? How do you feel with the run game? None of that. No one gives a damn. They want to know about your father, your threat to badmouth the Bears, to turn them off you, to not draft you. All right, you're allegedly watching film alone by yourself. All these things, those are the questions. So come out, deal with it, and move on. It's literally that simple. But the Bears don't want to talk about how interesting they've been. They don't want to have egg on their face. All right, just deal with it. This is a situation you or Bears are created. All right, they created it by getting people and not developing quarterbacks. You didn't develop Justin Fields. You didn't develop Mitch Trubisky. You didn't develop Jay Cutler. This thing's been going on for the last 50 years, if not longer. So yeah, they definitely don't want to hear that. But that's the God's honest truth. You haven't developed a quarterback in 50 years. Think of what would have happened if you developed Jay Cutler. You developed Jay Cutler. Jay was a stud. Do you realize that offense in 2013, everybody on that offense, I think all 10 out of 11 or all 11 at that point had made or was going or went to afterwards a Pro Bowl. Everyone on that offense. We're talking Cutler. We're talking Forte, Brandon Marshall, Martellus Bennett, Alshon Jeffries. I think Kyle Long was on that squad as well. All those guys had gone to at that point or were going to go to a Pro Bowl. How do you not win? Because you don't develop the quarterback. Quarterback was good, really good, but he still needs development. And the Bears don't want to deal with it. And they don't want to talk about it. So Caleb needs to come out, address it, say this is the first and last time, the only time I'm dealing with any questions about this. Go on a little rant, take a couple questions, and then bounce. And then bounce. Caleb, no, on that. Period. Do you guys think yeah, Shorty. I was just as pissed Cuddy didn't finish that championship game, but to suggest he was lying, that he wasn't tough enough. After that he took from what's his name, the Detroit Lion. Yeah, dude, come on. Cutler was as tough as they came. He was a tough son of a gun. You put him. You didn't have him. You didn't give him protection. Remember, he had about 8 sacks against was it the Lions? Was it the Jets? He got sacked like 7 or 8 times. Cuddy's one of my favorite athletes. Yeah. A lot of people say Jeffries. It's not, and then instead of just Alshon Jeffrey. Yeah. It's like they say the Jules and Aldi's. It is what it is, Rick. Jules and Aldi's. I got to go to the Jules. I'm going to Aldi's. That's how it is. How we do in the shy, baby. It's how we do it. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's funny. You know, Rick, that's exactly it. You're got to go to the Jules, go shopping. That's how it is, baby. That's how it is. You know, one of the things that we haven't talked about that's gotten overlooked is this offensive line play. That's gotten overlooked big time. We talk about like, oh, yeah, they did this. But we haven't talked about the line coach. We haven't talked about really delved into it. We talked about the importance of the running game. Okay, but we haven't really gotten into what type of line coach they have. I can't think of who their offensive line coach. Oh, Dan Rochar. 41 years in the profession. Holy cow. Wow. Crazy. 41 years coaching in the man, he got in early. And that's great. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna get a little ant running around here. But what kind of coach is he on the line? How does he demand? What does he demand from his players? How tough is this guy? How demanding is this guy? How technical is this guy? Because I love what we've done with this offensive line. But as I mentioned earlier, the most important thing, all right, coaching. How are you going to coach this offensive line? How demanding? Are they going to understand that they are the lifeline of this offense? And they need to play like that. They need to understand it, and they need to play like that. Shorty's in the house. Good morning, Papa. How are you? He said, I should have just taken a sick day today after staying up till 3 a.m. and every 6:70 a.m. post that I could be in their chat today continuing my meltdown. Oh, you went off on 670, huh? Yeah, I get it. I understand. I get it. But you know, I'm not gonna. I don't need people sending me DMs if I've already had that shit. And some people just feel like slapping or telling them shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Nobody cares. You're a fool, King Book of World. A lot of the media folks, they never had their teeth tested. Man, King Book of World, you know how to fucking... Dude, you know how to make me laugh, dog. That's hilarious. Shorty says, on 6-7, how do you feel about Caleb not addressing the media? Set me on a downward spiral. Okay. I get it. I understand. I mean, but do you, Shorty, think that Caleb should have talked by now on this issue? One of the questions that I don't know that I want to hear, this is why I want him to talk, is why are you telling a reporter this? Is this you speaking to the reporter, or is this your dad speaking to the reporter? It's a big difference. It's a big difference. I truly feel that his dad is the one who has the loose lips. That's how I feel. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. And it's a shame. Okay? It's a shame. But I'm looking forward to it finally being addressed, whenever that is, and us moving on from it. Players, the organization, the media, and the fan base. Let's move on. Shawn, ultimately, yes, he should have nipped it in the bud immediately, but he's still learning this jackass media. I can't fault him. And you know what? It might not even be his call. That's the one thing that a lot of people are forgetting. It might not be his call. Ryan Poles and Kevin Moran might say, hey, no, you're not going out there. You're not going to deal with it. It could be above his head. This could be above his head. Again, they just never want to, the organization never wants to look bad. But these are all the decisions you've made, Bears organization, front office. These are all the decisions you've made over the last 10, 20, 50 years. And I get it. Can Caleb come out and say, yeah, I didn't want to come here? Can Caleb come out and say that? I had my reservations about coming here because of the quarterback situation. Can he say that? First of all, you can't fault him for saying that. But can he really say that and still have the fan base around him? Because that sheds terrible light on this Bears organization. That sheds terrible light on the situation. The quarterback didn't want to come here because of the way you treated the quarterback for the last 50 years. Then why is this year different? You've had quarterback gurus, offensive minds before. You had Matt Nagy. You had Mark Trestman. What's different now? What's different now? Yeah, you're right. And you're right, King Book of World. That is most likely why Ben Johnson addressed it. And no, Junior, that's not the big news. I am not a true blue Cubs fan. Go Scrubs, go. No, not it. Oh, man. But one of the guys we talked about was Luther Burden. I'm excited to see him. Wow, King Booker World, I hear you. Said after 68 sacks, never threw his offensive line under the bus. Never complained about it openly. I thought Caleb was soft, but he proved me he got heart. Support 100% from me. That's dope. That's dope. Mr. Shorty's checking in. He said, I loved Ben's response to the media ding-dongs about Caleb. It was perfect. Yeah. Yep. It was perfect. Great stuff. You talk about a guy having your back, having his quarterback's back. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait till they get in pads and start popping, because that's football. Just running around in shirts and T-shirts is not football. 7-on-7 maybe, but let's get it crack-a-lacking. And according to the CBA, like they don't even crack-a-lack a lot. I think there are going to be 2 weeks where they have joint practices with someone else right before a preseason game. Is it the Dolphins? I got to double check. I think the Dolphins are here. They play them here in the preseason. They might practice here days leading up to it. And I love that. I love the joint practices. All right, you get fresh meat. You get to see someone completely different, someone you haven't been practicing against for the prior 2 weeks. Because you might be facing a guy who just matched on our team that matches up well against you. Can't get off. You can't show your shit, but your talent is through the roof. It's just a bad matchup for you. And against other guards or other teammates, against other competitors, you may do well. So Shorty, yes, that final FGB game, he threw a strike to DJ to win the game. Yeah, get him in field goal position. That dig, got him 5 or 6 yards closer. Yeah. Yeah. He did the same thing in the first Green Bay game. Yeah, he did. And they got blocked. Should have won. He did the same against the Commanders. Yep. The media wants to ruin him over book sales. That's an interesting thought, because I hear you, Shorty, but again, why are you telling this to a writer? Why are you telling them what goes on in what went on? Why are you doing that? Why that would be. Now, again, was it your dad speaking, or was it you? Or was your dad speaking for you? All right, so you got a lot of varying opinions. And Shorty said it was mostly his dad, from what I've heard. Well, when we read the book, we'll find out. And you talk about hyping up book sales. It has definitely done that. A lot of Bear fans, and there's a lot of them across the country. I don't want to read that book. His dad needs to stop Lonzo balling him. Oh, man. Well, anyway, listen. 2 hours is come and gone. I want to thank my guest, Evan Winter from A to Z Sports, for coming on talking Bears football with your guy. Great stuff. Great stuff from Evan. And listen, like I told you on Friday, all right? And I want to thank you guys. You guys made this chat. You guys were jumping in this chat. I love it. Cornelius Squalls, Patty Lara, and Jeremiah, thank you for checking in. King Booker World, my man Junior, Shorty, Booker World, Plankster, Brandon Schutz checked in. How are you, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. I think I just said Shorty twice now. Mashawn, Cornelius, and everybody else, Rick. Anyone else I may have forgotten? Rick Gonzalez, King Booker World, Black Diamond, James Ford. Everyone else, I hope I didn't miss you in the chat. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I had a phenomenal, great time. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to replay this at 6 p.m. tonight. So if you missed any part of it, you can. Oh, I forgot, man. My bad. Jay Grizz checking in, Papa. Jay Grizz. Well, you're gone for a minute, Papa. You know, you're gone for a hot second. Good to have you back. Good to have you back. And everyone else, I hope I didn't miss anybody. Levette, I hope I didn't miss anybody. But again, thanks for tuning in. Do yourself a favor. Let your loved ones know you love them, because tomorrow is promised to no one. He's like, working, brother, working. I hear you. I ain't mad at you, dog. Oh, fixing these ovens at Starbucks, huh? Okay. All right. Well, yeah, so listen, have a phenomenal day. This is going to replay today at 6. I will see you Friday with big news. Big news. And I look forward to it. All right, get word on the Bears up at Hallis for another round of OTAs. We should have someone who was there or covered or was going that particular day. But anyway, guys, have a great day. I know it's overcast and rainy here in Chicago. Okay, if you're in here, again, just remember you're on the wake-up list. So be thankful for the fact that you're still alive, that you woke up. All right? So I got to bounce. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Have a phenomenal day. All right? King Booker World, have you checked out that place that we talked about? Let me know. But again, until then, I'm your boy, the SuperBack. I am out.